Okay, it's been about, well, not quite 15 minutes. The output has remained absolutely constant at 4. So, now I'm in a bit of a spot here. Either the problem is gone, the radio works fine, I should put it together and be done with it. That's one possibility. Number two, the fading occurs on the FM side, not on the AM side. We're listening to the AM side right now. And C, the fading has already occurred, and I'm listening to a faded radio already. And so I'm listening for something that's already happened. So those are the three possibilities. I think we should switch over to FM here and see what happens. Even verify the operation of the FM side too, because I don't think there's any fading here at all. You know, I'm going to give it another 15 minutes here before I do that. I think that's a smart move. Okay, through the magic of video time compression, that's been about a half an hour now. And it's still putting out 4 on the meter. It's exactly the same. Absolutely no fading occurring. So let's switch it over to FM and see what happens. Switching it to FM. Let's flip in this switch here. There we are. Can't say I hear a thing here. Let's turn it up. Well, I'll try tuning it here. Well, certainly working. So what we're going to set up is another signal generator here. Ooh, it's not plugged in. What's going on? Okay, give me a sec to set up my signal generator here. Okay, so the piece of equipment we're going to use is this one here, which puts out a FM signal at 100 megahertz. Now, okay, let's see if our signal generator is putting out a signal at 100. I have another FM radio here out of sight. I'm going to try.
Oftentimes that comes from those who find their people.
There it is. Okay, it's putting out a signal at 97.2. That's what we're looking for on this radio, that tone you just heard. Ooh. Something not too good there. Okay, we're still supplying 12 volts. Now, I cannot change the frequency that my transmitter transmits at. It's at 100 or 97. Just have to hunt it down. Okay, I cannot control the output of the signal generator. It's fixed transmitter. My neighbors might be able to tune this in right now. So I'll set this up here. Okay. So I have the volume set to 5 here now. Now we've had this playing for a long time. So if it is fading out because of a capacitor charging or something that takes 2 or 5 minutes or whatever it was. For sure, it's happened. And so we are now listening to the depressed output. Doesn't sound depressed to me at all. Sounds quite normal. So what we'll do is we'll shut off the power, we'll leave it sit. We'll come back and maybe in an hour, half an hour, switch everything on again, and we'll watch this output volume. I'll leave everything else just set exactly the way it is. I won't touch anything. And we'll see if it's still 5. In fact, I'm going to write that down here. Did I say it was 10:43 before? It was 9:43 because now it's 10:50. I was wrong on the time. So it's 10:50 in the morning. The reading is 5.2. We will shut off the power. Here we go. There we go. Just leave everything like this and come back in about a half an hour and we'll see what's happened to it. Okay, so I've just been out of the shop for 10 minutes. Actually, I've been in and out, and I just noticed there's no sound coming out of this radio anymore. Wonder. Oh, I know what it is. I don't have it turned on. Okay, so let's turn it on. It's been 15 minutes or so. Here we go. Man alive. Here we go. Okay, the output volume is at 6 and dropping very slowly. Okay, so we'll let it run like this for a little bit. Yeah, it dropped. You wouldn't even notice the drop. I mean, I can see it on the meter, but you'd never hear that level of variation. Gee, is that telling us anything? Switch it on and it's a little high, and then a moment later it goes down a little bit. It looks like it's continuing to go down, actually. Well, that's something anyway. I think I need to have this set off for a lot longer. So it is slowly working its way down to 5 here on my meter. Let's try it instantly. Switch it off. Give it 10 seconds. Anybody counting? Okay, there's 10. We'll switch it on again. I would say it was slightly higher than where we turned it off, and it's faded quickly down to where it was. Again, we're talking about tiny changes here, nothing you'd even hear. There's definitely something going on there. So I think I will leave it off for an extended period now. An hour or two or something like that, and then we'll give it another try. Okay, once again, through the magic of video, what's happened in a moment has actually been about an hour with this radio off. So I'm going to apply power, and I'm sorry you can't read the meter I'm reading because it's too bright in the camera, so you'll just have to trust me on this. I'm going to flip on the power. The FM should come on. It should all still be tuned. My signal generator is still operating. Everything is the same as it was. It will immediately observe the meter here and watch what happens. And I think you'll be able to hear this too. I mean, you'll be able to hear it, hopefully. So, with all that in mind, let's turn it on and see what happens here. Okay, so when I first turned it on, the volume came on my meter at 5.5. That's 0.55 volts. It's now dropped to 0.45. watching it very carefully now. It appears to be very slowly going down, but it's very, very slow now. So I don't know if you heard that. It was pretty quick, and I'm not even sure anybody could really hear the change in volume. But we'll leave this running now for a few minutes, and we'll come back and see what's happened to it. Okay, so about, once again, through the amazing power of video, about 5, not quite 10 minutes has gone by. The output is stable at 4.5. It's not dropping. When I first turned the set on, the output was slightly higher and dropped back quite quickly to where it is now. And you know, that could just be voltages stabilizing in the radio as various capacitors gain their final charge and biases changing a little bit here and there. It may not be indicative of any kind of problem at all. So it sure seems pretty steady. I'm going to let it go now for quite a while. And we'll see what it does. But it doesn't seem to be exhibiting any kind of problem. Of any serious sort, anyway. Now, I did get a comment from Bobby. Thanks, Bobby, as usual. Telling me that he's had radios in the past, car radios, similar problem. And oddly enough, the problem seemed to be the antenna. I don't think he knows how that could be, but replacing the antenna solved the problem for him. I can't see how that can lead to fading, but, you know, who knows? Unfortunately, the radio's here and the car is somewhere else with the antenna on it, so we can't do that kind of testing. Now, I've also noticed that there's heavy corrosion in the back of the antenna connection here. Well, not heavy corrosion, but somehow some water has made it down into here or something. Once again, would that cause fading in a consistent way 5 minutes after turning the set on? No, it wouldn't. If this was shorting out a little bit in here, it would just weaken the signal all around, all the time. So, I don't know. You hear it. And, yeah, still just a hair under 4.5 on the meter. We'll continue to leave it operating here for a while. Okay, that was another 20 minutes or so has gone by since the last video clip. The output has gone up. It's gone from 4.5 to 5. So that's 4.5, that's 0.45 volts to 0.5 volts right now. It's gone up. We're expecting it to go down. Now, there's a couple things that may have happened. First of all, there could be some drifts. There could be drift in my transmitter, and there could be drift in the radio. It's more likely the transmitter drifting than the radio. And a very, very small amount of that could be responsible for the small change. Secondly, it could be some other component situation occurring. It could be that this is a secondary issue that comes up after you operate the radio for an hour. I'm just making this up, believe me. And this other issue actually increases the output. You know, fat chance on that being true, but I guess it's in the realm of possibility. Another one is the frequencies have not changed, but in fact my signal generator is putting out a stronger signal at this point. That's a tough one to tell. Now I can check the frequency a bit because I left this other radio, it's just off camera here behind you. I left it tuned exactly to the signal generator, so I'll just turn it on. It has a signal strength indicator on it, and I'll max it out here and see what happens. Well, I don't think it's drifted at an appreciable amount. So what's up with this radio? But it sure sounds nice and clear. The tone is, you know, I can hear it here with my ears. It sounds just fine. I think we're going to put it back together. I can't think of any other test to do. Or you know what we should try? Let's hook it up to a real antenna and listen to some real radio for a while and see what happens with that. So that's what will happen next. I'm just going to let it sit here and play for a while until we go to do that. And we'll see you in microseconds video time, I guess. Well, here I am again. About another, I don't know, 20 minutes has gone by. This radio's been operating for something like a couple hours non-stop now. The signal's just a hair above 5, so it appears to still be increasing. And as I said before, it could just be because of drift and things like that. So we can't really say too much about that small change, but that certainly isn't a fade, is it? So, so I think I'm going to put a real antenna on this. And let's see, how can we do that? That's pretty easy to do here. First, I'm going to turn off the transmitter. And then I'm going to plug into the outdoor antenna. Let's turn it up a bit here. It does do something funny when you turn the volume up high. Tune.
He's in a monastery garden. There.
Uh-oh. I can't have a song like that playing on a video or I'm going to get a copyright strike. I don't want that to happen on these videos. It really complicates the situation. Okay, so what was happening there? You saw me pushing on this. I was grounding this plate against that plate and the radio was operating better. Did I not connect a ground between these two guys? Yes, I did. But apparently not a very good one. Not a very good one, I guess. So that could change the operation of this radio a fair bit, I guess. You could hear it, couldn't you? I still don't think there's any fading problem evident in it. And just because I better ground the components together, I don't think that's going to change. In fact, the slight change in volume may have been because of the quality of the grounding between these parts, based on my clip leads, was changing a little bit over time. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But what we should do next? Oh, you know, I don't think I don't want to reassemble the radio. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to set it aside. The reason I don't want to reassemble it is because you are watching this video right now, and you might have a suggestion for me. And if I put the radio all back together, I won't be able to act on a suggestion you might have. So I'll just set it aside. I have something else to show. I do a short video on an interesting thing, and I think I'll just leave it at here at this point. Let me turn off the power to it, and we'll probably get back to this tomorrow. That's probably what's going to happen. So thanks for watching all these. Hope you're finding them interesting.